Hey, Onyx. Ooh, swing and a miss. And Greg did warn me that Onyx has 100% of his tail. He's a very unique white throat. He's almost orange. Oh, wow. Are you guys seeing this? There's his color. Look at that. We'd like to sincerely thank our Patreon supporters. Hey everybody, I am at the Okeechobee property, which I think from moving forward is really going to be the only property where we're filming the monitor lizards anymore. They are all here. And as a matter of fact, as I moved some of them here, I started seeing some behaviors that were good. We have Sunny and my male black dragon are together. They are both peacefully in the large hide box. Like I said, the water monitors will breed in the water and in their hide boxes. So they are both in that hide box together. Ivy is over here, and her and Forrest, here's Forrest right here, sitting on his shelf, and she was on her shelf, and then he climbed on the screen, the two of them together, him tongue flicking, her closing her eyes, and I opened the door. She is now, I wish I had zoom. She is above that doorway, sitting on that shelf. It's funny, that's a place where she used to hide when she was smaller, but she still found that place. She has some weight up forward, so I'm assuming that she's cycling. Maybe she was a little shocked by his size at first, so she climbed up high to assess the situation. He is tongue flicking like crazy. I think he smells a female that's possibly ready. He's very excited for her. So I think she's gonna feel out the situation and then come down. Sorry, I almost forgot I had a camera in my hand. Started sticking it right up in my face. So since we're working outside, we'll keep an eye on that. This video is about us buying out a collection. It was a deal too good to be true. As you know, we lost Joanne this year, so we are down to, for males, I have Blackbeard, and then I had my buddy Lawson Hopper has a male in Alabama. Tyler Lofton has Shrek 2.0, that's up with him in Kansas, and I also have another female that's up in Kansas. She'll be coming back. Tyler and Lawson are going to purchase those males. I am getting the pair of blackthroats from Greg that produced babies, I believe last year, just last year. This pair produced captive born babies, which is awesome because I'm kind of stagnant right now. I keep getting coupling but not getting to eggs, and Joanne never produced eggs, good or bad. So I think all of those couplings, albeit I could read the cycles and put them together at the right time, she just, for whatever reason, never produced eggs. And Joanne is getting up, or I'm sorry, Jane is really getting up in years. She cycled again, she's with Blackbeard, but the last couple times we've got nothing but bad eggs from her. So it would be good to get another young male and young female in the mix, and then we'll have that other female to come back. So Blackbeard will have his choice between the two, and this other young male and female will have each other. They seem to like each other already. So, but I think altogether it's 8 rock monitors. One very unique white throat, which I can't wait to introduce to you. And then, what is it? 5 other white throats. So 8 animals altogether, 2 black throats and 6 white throats. We need to get some cages done. So the pair, initially, we can stick together in Joanne's cage. Blackbeard and Jane could get pushed into his big cage. And then Jane's enclosure could take 1 animal, 1 individual. So already that's 3. This front Argus monitor enclosure, which I think we just need to do the next 2x4 past this, and it's cross 2x4 to block that, and then just the roof. So basically the roof on that enclosure, and just check all my staples that I have them every 2 inches. Looks like it. Doors already there. Needs to be trimmed out. So a little bit to finish that one. I'm not going to be able to pour concrete floors and slabs and stuff like that for all these enclosures. So we got to work with what we have started. So that's 1, 2, 3 enclosures. That'll handle 4 of those 8 animals. So we need 4 more enclosures. So let's walk down the hallway and see what we have almost done. I think you guys saw in one of the last videos, we finished this row. Still needs to be trimmed, but we are to finality on that row. And just this morning, I pulled the forms off the end of this row. This floor still needs to be poured and dirt in it before we can close off the end of this. Oh gosh, I can already see rain coming. It just got cloudy. There's the screen that goes here. So it's possible to finish this enclosure. Oh, that's it. Deadlines have to have days for you guys to understand. Today's Wednesday. I have to pick up the animals Sunday. So we're kind of close to lunch on Wednesday. So we have this afternoon, which it looks like it's gonna be rainy. Tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We basically have 3.5 days to finish. What did we say? 3 or I don't know, a bunch of cages. But yeah, this one's finishable. Needs a log up to the shelf and a hide box. Log up to a shelf and a hide box. So these 2 are really easy to finish. Finish the screen. Across the hallway, this one is very easy to finish. I think it just needs, yeah, the screen done. And just a couple screws and a hide box, just a couple little things, and really we could finish this one. I think we're in good shape. I mean, we'll plug forward and get everything we can done. I think I may pour this floor. Is this drizzle already? Yeah, it's already gonna rain. It's insane out here lately. I'll get this floor poured just the same. I would love to have everything sealed and by next week get these hallway doors up too. Especially when I say like this hallway is going to be full. I want my airlocks here. I want that security measure. So I'm not going to do like a lot of information on finishing these cages. I'll probably just give you like a day-to-day update, because this video is about receiving and putting these monitors into their enclosures. So I'll fast pace the work. I mean, you guys basically see what I have to do. It's the same enclosures I've been finishing, but just a bunch of these little ones I need to finish. And then Sunday we're picking up these animals. It's gonna be exciting. All right, guys, it's the next day. Adam is here to help me today, but I'm gonna show you what I got done yesterday. I got the some of the more screen done. Upper screen in here, I got the upper screen in there. I got the door stops for these 3 doors. So, I mean, you can just say it just like this. We finished the last doors in this hallway, so all the doors are hung. I just need to do now the latch sets, the nylon line to be able to open the door from the inside, set the handle heights and stuff like that, and make sure all that is the same. Obviously on doorways like this, they have to be staggered because this one has to be above this 4x4 post, and that one has to be below that 4x4 post. So I have to stagger them like that, and you know, I guess if the low one here is on that side and the high one, I want it somewhat symmetrical. But we are going to try and get everything we can done today. I know that first thing Adam is going to work on is setting the boards that I put next to the slabs. That is a really thick, that corral board is 1.25 inches. It's almost as wide as a 2x4. So he's gonna dig them out so we can install those next to those slabs and in front of them and those next 2 enclosures. And I am gonna work on the door stops, which are just tacked on right now. And I'll close the door and I'll adjust the middle one to the door where it's, because obviously that's a positive point. The door, when it's, I can't close the door with me in here because the string is not installed, but it's not gonna move past that point. So once I adjust this one to the door, I can look at that space I've created there. If it's 1/4 of an inch or 3/8 of an inch, I should be able to match that same distance up here, and it should touch the door properly, and then do it on the bottom and then put the rest of the screws in. And then I could look at the threshold door stop and the header door stop and adjust all that, get the door to shut properly. We do have something weird going on over here. This, let's see, this 4x4 must have leaned that way a little bit, and this one is leaning out a bit. And if you look at the way the door shuts, it's gonna be a little weird. I don't know, we'll see when we get the latches done. I see the way this one stops, it is tight at the bottom and is really sticking out up top. You guys can see that. It's a gap. I don't know if it's a gap for a big monitor, but maybe when this is done. No, I mean, that one actually already has its latch. So that's the way it's settling. It's quite a bit of space. I may do a twist board there and shove this shut as hard as I can and teach that wood to kind of twist a little tighter up top. And I can, you know, if just like you could train a board to take a curve by wetting it and drying it, wetting it and drying it in a forced position, I could do something very similar to that wood and get it to shut better and actually take form to the to that 4x4. I guess you guys will see the finished product. So we're gonna get started and I'll fill you in tomorrow morning. All right, guys, it's well, I was supposed to film this first thing this morning, but it is the next working day, and Adam and I finished this screen. We also didn't like the way this little, I'll have to show you in another cage. We put a patch over this, and I'll show you why. I'll show you why that is as we walk over this way. So we finished that roof. We finished that patch. We also got the palm tree logs. We still need to trim the tops, but 1, 2, 3, and then I feel like we did a 4th one over there somewhere as well. I'm going to put some other branches up in that cage. We ended up putting this cap on. We poured this floor. It's a little higher than some of the other floors, but it also had 3 inches of water in it when we started, and we used those mixing tubs and scooped the water out as we poured. So like the drainage area is a little infiltrated with concrete, but I think it'll be fine. It is what it is. I think it'll still drain fine. If it doesn't, I'll take some rebar and I'll puncture some holes in there. But yeah, we got those logs done. And oh, what I was showing you, I did some work on the door handles. I still have to finish some stuff. But some of these from the old house, like this one looks like it was trimmed here. So this was trimmed for this 2x4. An animal's not really gonna get through that. Maybe a tiny one could open it up. I don't see them ever being able to break that wire, but if they did, in this cage it would be a female getting into her male's cage, so she must really want to get to that male. There aren't anything like that on the front or backs of their enclosures, where again, only get into another enclosure, only get into a hallway. But some of them from the other house where this was trimmed, And then when I set that panel, it's off a little bit, and this space is just a little bigger than I like. And so we can put a patch on it. There's another one over here that he patched for me as well. Yeah, I still have to put the lines on some of these latches. Yes, he patched this one as well. In fact, I probably will put another zip tie on there. Just didn't like the way the opening was. So I just put a little patch on it and it's fine. It's a lot tighter. It's 2 o'clock. Tomorrow morning we're getting these animals. So now I need to really consolidate my time. I am probably not going to finish the flaps on the hide boxes, which means I just need to get hide boxes in there. I don't know if I can trim everything. So if I can't trim it, I just need to put, if I have staples every 4 inches, I just need to grab the gun and get a staple every 2 inch. And then I can do that each panel in 2 minutes instead of measuring and cutting all the trim. So I can do that a little faster. And that just means that once I get the animals in their enclosures, the very next day I work, I will be finishing up what I really should have finished today, but just didn't have time to. Because remember, the strips over this are only if this galvanized staple ends up rusting out. Now, first off, this galvanized staple is not going to rust out for a good old long time, and an animal is not going to fit out through this. But if you put a staple every 2 inches in between every one of these, it'll just help me sleep at night. It really is probably fine, but why not have it definitely fine? So I'll do that. Oh, another thing is it's not just the time today. You can already see that the afternoon storms, like, it really could rain in the next hour and a half. So I'm gonna grab the staple gun, hurry up and shoot all the rest of these cages. I did already strip the ceiling of that cage over there. It does need its wood, and then I can try and finish the flaps on the hide boxes inside the covered shop. Even if it rains, I'll just do a count of how many of the boxes I need done and just get started on them. It's either 6 or 8 animals tomorrow, but I think it could be 6 including the black-throat pair, or it could be the black-throat pair and 6. I'm not sure, but it is whatever it is. So I just need to be prepared for the worst. I need to be prepared for 8 animals. So in which case I will consolidate Blackbeard and Jane to 1 cage, or I will give them use of the 2 cages. Really, that's the difference for me. So I'll be fine. I'm gonna get started and I'll show you when all right, today's the day. We drove all the way up to Mims, Florida, and picked up, oh gosh, some metal caging. We have the whole trailer is packed. The metal caging is in here. Today was not a hot day. It was about 80, 82. All the animals are in their moving boxes in the middle of the trailer. But we have a whole bunch of great mature plants that were in his enclosures that we're able to use in these enclosures. They need to be put into the ground tomorrow. But we also got a metal cage to put around the quail cage because something has been getting my quail through their caging, which is horrible. So I need to get unloading because we got stuck in traffic today and it ate up most of our day. All right, it's the next morning. We worked until dark. We quickly got that cage put around the quail cage to stop the predation that's been happening to my quail colony. That's been giving me so much stress. 2 nights in a row, they got a whole mess of them. Today, I'm gonna be getting all these mature plants into the ground. I forget the name of this plant, but we've got like these crotons, Thai plants. I forget the name of this guy, but it's similar to the corn plant in the sense that it's not a lot of stuff for the monitor to break down below, and they will constantly throw new plants. So I can't always subdivide them and bring them into other enclosures, but there's quite a few nice bushy plants in there, and a beautiful stump that we can put into an enclosure. Some water tubs. I got some heat mats. Basically, they're getting out of the monitor game. So I have some chicken cut up on trays, and we are going to, oh, and I have my list with some of the names, because some of the names are going to stick. Ciao, Petey, can I get on the golf cart? You don't have to get off, Pete. Come on. Good boy. All right, he loves riding on the golf cart. So we're gonna go back there and give these guys a feed and introduce you to them. All right, I'm gonna quickly show you what we did last night. Again, it was getting dark as we put this together, but this is one of those basic dog kennel, whatever pens you can get from Tractor Supply or your local feed store. Has a big door that opens there. They had them sitting on 2-foot concrete solid poured walls, so they were away from the ground and not gonna rust terribly. This is what they were using for their monitor enclosures. It has a divider with a pass-through door, so they were able to keep male and female on either side. The mesh is quite large, but it is nice and rigid. There's my quail racks, and they've already killed every quail on that bottom rack and the bottom rack on the other side. They started out by this tree line where I thought they would get more shade, and we suspected that it was rats getting them. Then we moved them up next to the enclosure wall, and they got just as many the second night. So we moved them over here in the middle, and now we think it's something that was larger, because it actually, mosquitoes are bumping into my leg as I'm filming this. All this rain has now got the mosquitoes popping off. So after I film, I got to quickly get their water thing set back up so they can get water. Quail like a lot of water, so I have to do this relatively quickly and get that set up for them. But I also want to get some of these guys fed ASAP. First off, I think we can start with the pair of black-throat monitors, which I think I will give, and I don't know if they're the largest. There's actually quite a large white-throat monitor in this group. Pete, can I see the list? Wait, you ducking out of my way? People are gonna think I beat you. All right, well, we have Sapphire and Onyx are gonna be the black-throats. Now, these black-throats produced for Greg O'Leary. Some of you guys may know his name from some of the monitor groups. He was able to produce captive-born black-throat monitors with this pair. So very exciting to get them, because we've been striking out with their black-throats. Albeit I've been able to get them to mate, I just haven't gotten to eggs. Everyone's a little thin, on the thin side. I feel like they could use a little fattening up. Some people may say that they're their perfect size. I'm gonna guess that this, oh, he's already eyeballing the food, that this is Onyx. Hey, Onyx. Ooh, swing and a miss. And Greg did warn me that Onyx has 100% of his tail. There you go, buddy. Yeah. It is cool this morning. Oh, he chucked it on the ground. And am I gonna get to Sapphire? Let's see. See if we can get her to come out. Yeah. Come on, buddy. Look at that. You're a good boy. Don't drop that in your water. I know you're in them too, because you're a black-throat. Yep. Yeah, and you can pretend to be grumpy, but you're not that grumpy. But would like to see. I could see his hip bones, so I'm gonna say he's on the thin side for me. Now the male and female are already in the same cage, so if he gets I'm literally throwing, she's already in the egg laying box, checking it out. The sun is just coming out. It was 69 degrees last night, so she'll probably come out and eat. If she doesn't, I will get her more food even today, because like I said, I want to get a feed on him. But he is, now I could set the tongs down, he is a beautiful black throat. He really does have perfect spots down his back. It's really pretty. He's pretty dark like Blackbeard, but he actually has a very light spot. I have a feeling he's going through a shed. A very light spot on his neck. So he does have some lighter spots than Blackbeard, who is not out yet. Now we've compressed Blackbeard and Jane to the same enclosure. They're both in the large enclosure together. We're walking in here just to see Pinky. Pinky is with the Guru Sulfur male. And hey Pinks, what are you doing? So I think she's mating with him. She's been doing some exploratory digging in the in that potted plant right there. She has the door open to go into her cage for her lay box, but he's a shy devil, so she's actually been going into the hide box with him and initiating everything. You're a mature lady. You know what you want, right, Pinks? All right, and I already see our next guy, and I think after him I'm gonna do my absolute favorite, but to me was the most disappointing yesterday. And I'll explain when we get to him. All right, so next up to bat is Ferocious. Ferocious. He is a white throat male, and we already have plans to maybe let Ferocious go to Adam and Shannon's house, who we got the quail from, because they have, again, trying to do this with the camera and the tongs, and let's see. Ferocious is a pretty large white throat male. Let's see if he'll let me get in here and film him. Again, everyone is just now warming up. So really, these guys would be much better in an hour and a half getting fed. Hey, Ferocious. Come on, buddy. Come on, let everyone see you. Come over here. Look at that head on this guy. It's a little on the cool side, but not bad. The sun is getting nice and intense. Now, he's actually in a female's enclosure, but we will set him up. We're gonna continue to finish this row and get him into the enclosure that's for him. Really, this is Jane's enclosure. But he is a nice, I mean, he's quite long. I'd say 3, maybe 5.5 foot, 5 foot, at least 5. You can tell, none of them are warmed up. It's hard to eat when you're not 100%, huh? If I was smart, I would have chopped it up, but I figured it would have been better for the tong feed with a bigger, longer chunk there. Now, I've never had a white throat this big. Now, there is another male, Snowball. Snowball? We'll have to go back and look at that list. And he's got another little piece of chicken to hit. But before we go there, the first time I met Greg, And oh shoot, I forget his father's name. Super nice family. Mom's Angela. They were decorating for Halloween. I have never seen so much Halloween decorations in my life. Pretty cool. All right, so this next guy is Bubba. Now, this is the one that I was the most excited about. Greg says he's probably about 11 years old. And 11 years old is old. Oh shoot, phone's ringing. We'll just let it ring. Greg kind of put it off that he's just old, and that's why he's so emaciated. I think we're gonna hit him with food twice this week, and if I don't see a small difference, then we're gonna hurry up and get him. I might actually do it later this week just the same. Get him to Dr. Mike, because I think he's very, very thin. You can see his hips, but again, quite a long monitor. He's a very unique white throat. He's almost orange. And I don't know if the camera's really gonna show it, but I mean, look at the orange on his face. We gave him some quail eggs yesterday, and even though he's so thin, he is super alert, and he climbed all around. Again, they're just warming up this morning. Yeah, he's actually, since he's been laying out, he's actually a pretty nice temperature already. But look at the orange in his face. I think we're gonna turn him around. We're gonna worm him, and I just love this guy. Now, oh yeah, his name is, what did I call him, buddy? It's Bubba. Bubba is his name. And Bubba, I just named a water monitor Bubba. So I think because he's older, oh man, I should have cut that up for you, huh? That I think Bubba will keep his name, and the water monitor's just gonna have to get a new name. But he doesn't have the bands of the other white throats. He's kind of just got like a couple random spots on his back. The thing about him is more orange and brown. And I hope the camera really shows it, but to me he just looks emaciated, like he's just not getting his nutrients. And to me that's a parasite thing. Let's see. No, it's all big pieces. You're gonna have to get that down, bud. Or you can see his teeth in there. I feel like the older black throats and white throats, well, again, I've never had an older white throat, but the older black throats lose their teeth. But you could see in his eyes, there's a lot of life still in there. And it's not like Joanne at the end where her eyes were sunken in. These eyes they're there. Look, yeah, he even wants to shake the food. I think we're gonna save him. I really wanna, I would cut his food up and chew it for him if he needed it. I don't know why I love this guy so much. I have since I first set my eyes on him. He is too cool. Yeah, so out of all the monitors, this is the one I'm the most excited about. I can't believe how big his claws are. His claws are massive. I mean, not like the hand-sized claws, but the actual nails on his hands are just crazy long. Longer than, proportionally, like longer than like Shrek's, or they're just crazy long. Oh, he's gonna get it down. All right, so we'll let him do his thing. He's got a good meal. We'll let that sit in, and then I think I may, depending on how I see him digesting it, I may hit him with a rat next, because that should be, that will let me know if he's going to put that fat on. Yeah, he's going to use the wall. They always love to use the wall to help them swallow. I know. they'll get a plant in there today. This is all rush. They need a plant in there. We'll get some more plants in everyone's cages. As the, yeah, this, see, Onyx is now like, hey, he went for a swim. Did he get his other piece of chicken he dropped? I can't see from here. He'd have to let me walk in there to see. He hasn't found her food yet. But yeah, see, he's anxious to get to more food. And then, we see the list again, Pete? Yeah? Brocious Blackbeard, Bubba's, Frosty. Frosty is the other male white throat. So I think he's our next biggest in line. See, Ferocious didn't come home. He's still working on his chicken over there. I know Greg used to breed rats. He had quite a big setup for breeding the rats. So these guys have probably eaten a lot of rats and not so much of the chicken during their life. I know the whole prey is good. But he did say it got too hot this summer and took a toll on his rat colony. That it was just too hot for them, even with all the fans and everything. Oh yeah, so Pinky's laying out. She looks good. I was very nervous about that introduction. Forrest looks good. He's sunning himself. Sunny and my black dragon are together. Okay, we got to Frosty's cage. Oh, the hallway's dry because it hasn't rained in 2 days. Although it looks like it might rain today. But the hallway is dry today. I can't wait to work without my feet in boots or with wet feet. It's been one or the other every day. You know what would be nice is that camera that like mounts to my chest. Kind of walks around with me and it looks like Blair Witch or something. Hey buddy. So this is Frosty. Now Frosty? Was it Frosty or Snowball? Oh gosh, we're gonna have to go back and look at the name. I already forget. Now, he's going through a big shed. You know what? We're gonna give him something smaller. Because he's... You alright, buddy? There you go. Come on closer. He's extremely white. And you can actually see in his face. Ooh, you're biting the wood, bud. Yeah, you're biting a 2x4. You can't eat a 2x4. Yep, you're still biting a 2x4. Well, still biting a 2x4. So, we're gonna say not the smartest one. Oh, there you go. There you go, buddy. Snowball or Frosty. You gonna let us pet you? No? Yeah, you will. You can see under his neck where he's about to shed how light he is. Yeah, look at the skin's all coming off. Let's see. Let's see if we can get a patch of this off. Oh, wow. Are you guys seeing this? There's his color. Look at that. So he is super, super light and gray and white. I wonder what this Okeechobee mud is going to do to this beautiful color. I wonder if I don't need to add more rocks to the substrate and stuff here to keep him cleaner. He is so, so pretty. And again, really nice patterns. I think he's one that Greg produced. So this was one of his babies. It's so funny. I don't think any of his animals are used to swallowing anything big. Well, you have big teeth. They all seem to be having difficulty with bigger bites. And he has this big drumstick. I don't think he's ever, like, Pinky's head is half that size. What are you shying off from the camera for? Pinky's head is half that size, and Pinky could down that drumstick in a second. So yeah, again, I don't know, a little hippie, but not bad. I think actually some of the favorites maybe got a little more food. Here you go, buddy. Look. Can't wait to see in another week or so when that shed finishes. Yeah, that's going to be a big thing for you to swallow, especially with you not warmed up. Yeah, like I said, he has those big teeth. He's not really putting those teeth, no energy into putting them into that chicken. He's letting it just slide out of his mouth. He's not biting with any pressure. Well, we'll let him play around with this big meal. Now, in the cage next to us, there's a pair of, oh, look at this. A male and female pair of white throats. Looks like the female on top, she's got the more slender face, and he has that more robust looking nose. So actually a really, I hope you guys can see that, a really perfect example of seeing a male and female's face against each other. And that's a good sign that they're not fighting. They're getting up high and laying on top of each other. It may be slightly difficult, well, to get food in there to them. And they could be up there because they see, again, this is not their permanent enclosure. They see Alexander next to them, a large water monitor right there, which they could see as a possible predator. And Snowball or Frosty, we need to go look at that list, because I will program myself to the wrong name if I say the wrong name too many times. I think it's Snowball. Snowball sounds like it. Which one is it, Pete? It's Frosty. It is Frosty. I was thinking Snowball. All right, so the little guys, I do have smaller bits of food for the little guys. Maybe I'll just leave the tongs, grab those 3 trays. Maybe I can grab the tongs. I would like to see them eat. When you watch them eat, then at least you know that they're all getting their food. Oh yeah, so Onyx did find that other drumstick, but the female still hasn't found her food. We'll have to, again, I was just getting another mosquito off my leg. Oh, Pinky's probably so mad. Her feeding day is tomorrow, so we're really just feeding these guys a day earlier, but I didn't want to wait like for Bubba. I wanted Bubba to eat right away. So the other suspected female is in here. Let's see. This was the transfer box that we used. In the box? No. So I'm guessing it went into this hide box. We're not going to see it today, but trust me when I say it's the same exact size as those other year-olds. And these would all be captive bred white throats from Greg himself. So it's really good that animal went into this transfer box that I had full of diatomaceous earth. I could have made those boxes lighter, maybe. Because again, we do have ticks on some of the animals out here, and their hide boxes have that, but it did get a good coating of it. Now, their tail, one of their tails, is right there in the way of the door. I definitely don't want a tail to get in the way of the door. Now, young monitors, well, young monitors that know you are pretty quick to get down and get on the food. I don't know if they will or won't. But I can also tell you that they seemed like really good on weight. Like even Frosty seems good on weight. So, and all the young white throats seemed good. So I don't think that's as much. Oh, I'm carrying this heavy box now. I would like to sneak in and see if we can get Sapphire out. Onyx is looking at me. Tongs. Did we leave the tongs on the cart, Pete? Give me a moment, I'll find. We came back in to see Ferocious. He had finished that drumstick, but didn't make his way over to the other food. Ooh. He sure is pretty. Yeah, play in your face. And that little piece I dropped. You're not gonna miss that little piece. Yep, get it all down. He's handsome. I just got stuck to that 4x4. Oh, we gotta get the water for the quail. I can hear him up moving around. I can actually hear him tapping the water thing, trying to get to their water. I may actually go do that real quick and then see if we can get Sapphire out. Because, yeah, well, we might be able to walk past Onyx. Just don't know him well enough. I know that he does have all of his tail. He's already winding up. Hey, buddy. Yeah, I think he's hoping I have more food. I think he could eat quite a bit more. He's a nice size. She's got chicken all by the entrance to that hole. I just don't think she's awake yet. We'll take care of the quail and then come back. All right, it's the afternoon now, and this is where the quail were this morning. Remember, we quickly erected that cage over it, and that's not what this video is supposed to be about, but I had to switch gears. I had an emergency situation. I don't want to lose any more quail, so instead of doing exactly what I wanted to do, I had to change gears and jump on this. And this is just a temporary fix, but even a temporary fix, it has to be right. And so, whereas this worked at Adam's house, I don't know if you guys can see this, but those are all little mosquitoes. So, and it's all over that plywood. So that was blocking the air and allowing those mosquitoes. Remember, I talk about the bushes and stuff next to the house. It gives the mosquitoes safe haven from the mosquito hogs and things that might want to eat them. Well, that's what that plywood was doing. It was blocking the wind and allowing them to be safe there. Now, so I moved the quail into something a little more open. And again, this is just temporary. So we set up 2/3 of that cage structure that we had them on. I put wire mesh down on the ground. Now, normally I would dig up the sod, lay the sod back on top of this. It would be attached to the wall and come out 24 inches. This is just so temporary. But the thing is that the cage is screwed down to the wood. Chances are a rodent's not going to get in that way. A rodent's going to get in this way. So we're not rat proof by any means. We do have a rat trap with some meat in it to hopefully catch them before they end up to the quail. We're raccoon and possum proofing this. Now they're way more open. I feel like now I can see the drip systems. Their food was wet from before, and now they have quite a bit more shade to the food, so I think the food will stay drier. See, the upper ones had dry food. So yeah, we lost the whole bottom rack on both sides of quail. I still, and these guys are eating away. I still would like to do maybe 4x8 cages with sand floor with some like little bushes in it and stuff like that, and a little hide box for them. Not a hide box, I know it's called something else. But I've seen it on some quail videos. That's just a little more naturalistic, gives them, even though they're here for me to breed for food source for the lizards, for myself, and for their eggs, I still want them to have quality of life. I don't like the idea of them standing on that wire mesh day in and day out. But let's get back to what the video was supposed to be about. Everybody ate except for the small female whitethroat. She never did come down off the door. In fact, the little male came and ate both plates of food. That's okay. I'll thaw out a small rat tomorrow or this evening. All the rest of the animals are getting fed tomorrow morning, so it'll be easy for me to go in with the tongs and specifically feed her. But let's see. It's quiet. Everyone's in their hide box. Yeah, she's still above the door. Let's see what this little male looks like after he ate both trays. We didn't go in here because their tongues were, their tails were hanging down, so she's still up there. The little male, see, he's got a little belly on him, and it's fine, you know. He ate both of them. He's pretty. I believe Greg said he's a Cape Banded. I want to know the difference. What makes a whitethroat a Cape Banded? What makes it just a regular whitethroat? I think this is the one he said was. Maybe he said they all are, because I think he captive bred all of these. These are all his babies. I don't know where the adults came from. Let's see if Frosty, I was just in there with Bubba. I just did a quick Patreon video. He was really in the corner. Hey buddy, how you doing? You okay? There you go. There you go. Got some good food in you. That's awesome. We got another friendly monitor, huh? In Frosty. I cannot wait to see what Frosty looks like after his shed. Now, he's been out all day. He has one of the new updated hide boxes. I'm going to make sure that these lizards learn their hide boxes. Obviously, I don't want two males to have this much access to each other. I mean, their shelves literally go right up next to each other. And even if they can't fight, there's going to be stress on the little guy. He doesn't look stressed right now. He's literally laying right up next to the screen, right next to him. But I don't know. It could be some stress that builds, you know? Could build. All right, Frosty. And the little female on the other side, she even came out and ate, and then went back to hiding. So everybody ate their food. Sapphire did come out. Sapphire, the female blackthroat, she came out and ate her food. Sunned. Blackbeard came out. He was checking her out through the screen. Him and the other male were checking each other out. But Blackbeard didn't seem to like care or get aggressive. He was just definitely noticing that there was another male over there, but he's been next to other males and was never aggressive. Maybe because he knows he's got a female in his enclosure. He's secure. But I think that's it for this video. I mean, it's like 72 degrees and these lizards don't want to do too much. I mean, they're out trying to digest. After this, it's a race to get all the electrical done. I think after this video, I just have to finish these 3 cages right here, and and then it's just electrical and getting ready for winter. And then maybe with some normalcy, because now we have everything moved from Jupiter. So now maybe with some normalcy, we can start ticking along at these other cages over here. But if I want to take a day off to go film somewhere or do something, or go fishing, which would be really nice, I'll be able to do that. As long as I have all these guys secure and ready for winter, I'll be good. I think that's it for today. All right, guys, until next time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. See you soon.